This is our first interrupt problem. Keep in mind that it's really brief, and I'm gonna it's the first one we did, so it's fairly simple. And all of these problems, this is the introduction to interrupts, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to start from the code on the cheat sheet, which is kind of how we explained interrupts. So it's very similar, and what I'm going to do is modify that code to make this problem work. Okay, so what's happening here is I'm going to count the interrupts. And then I'm going to display when the interrupt count is greater than 127. So the issue is it's really a contrived problem. There's a couple tricks in this thing that you should be aware of, but 255, 0 to 255 is a standard 8-bit count. And so what I want to do is when the count is greater than 127, what I'm going to do is display the leftmost bit of the 8-bit value. And that's going to satisfy this problem. And there's a couple other things here to notice. Typically in these problems, I always say it's not the real hardest problem, but I say don't do any I/O from the ISR, and that just makes the problem a little bit more interesting, we'll say. But typically speaking, we're going to start from the template, and this is the template. It has everything I need in it. It writes mtvec. Does some preliminary stuff to get the LEDs ready. It enables interrupts, waits in a tight loop. The interrupt itself sets a flag. That flag is going to be caught by this little tight loop here and go down to the part below the loop. Also in the interrupt, I am going to disable, I'm going to clear MPIE, which ensures that I can return from the interrupts to the interrupts disabled, which is not really specified in this problem, but I don't really want to get another interrupt until I write the LEDs. So I get all that done, and I do some busy work on this thing. I clear the flag, re-enable the interrupts, and then go back to the beginning on this thing. So we're going to start from this. I'm going to go to the contrived code, and we'll look at that in a second. Here is the template code for the interrupt service routine. I'm actually using Venus, and Venus doesn't recognize these interrupt instructions, so I know that's kind of a problem, but I can fix some of these. But first thing I want to do in this program is get the address right, and this is the port ID of the let's see if I got that right, of the LEDs. So we'll do that right there. Okay, so a couple things I can do to this thing. The first thing I want to do is just kind of clean it up a little bit, in that this code right here, I'm going to get, which is part of, it re-enables the interrupts. I'm sorry, it clears MPIE inside the ISR. I know I'm going to do that over and over again, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and drop it up here. Okay, and there it is, and there, so it's still going to work as usual, but now I just clean the code up a little bit. Other stuff I want to do this code is this is the tight loop. I don't really need 2 instructions there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that and just make it the tight loop associated 1 instruction. That looks good. And what we're doing here is using essentially on line 7 here, current line 7, we're using register X20 as a count. So when I get an interrupt, I know what I want to do is essentially increment that count. So I'll go ahead and clear that up a little bit. And I'm say I got an interrupt. I'm going to add I'm going to increment X20. Okay, looking good. And now the count may go over 255, so do I need to check it? I really don't need to check it, and I'm just going to do a standard trick here. And what I'm going to do is clear the upper 24 bits in X20. Essentially keep X20 in 8-bit range. Okay, now nothing really stopping me from outputting the data from here, from the ISR, except the problem told me not to. Okay, so everything's looking good here. I need to modify what happens inside the main code once I get out of this tight loop here. Remember, I'm going to break out of this tight loop when this bit here, the value in x8 becomes non-zero. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do on this thing is I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. And this instruction is really not needed, so I'm going to get rid of it. But what I'm going to do is jump to unmask. Okay, and there's jumping. I'm jumping up here because the code does it anyway. And my notion is anytime I see repeated code, I know there's an option to get rid of it. And so that's exactly what I did on this thing. So what I need to do inside this thing is I know x20 has the count, and I'm interested in the 8th bit from the right, and so I need to isolate that bit and output it. Now I have an output routine sitting right here, but what I want to do is get rid of this thing, and what I want to change it to is, let's see, I want to shift right logical immediate. I'm going to just stick the value in some temporary working register, x25. I'm going to shift the count by 8 bits. By 7 bits to get the MSB of that 8-bit value into the LSB position, and that's what I want to output on this thing. So I'm shifting it right, and this is going to be put 8th bit into LSB position. And so once I do that, I'm ready to output the thing. Okay, and so there it is. I'll output the LED. This should be x25, not x20, and it looks good. And I come down here, I clear the flag, remask the interrupts, and from this point, it's ready to go. That's all I needed to do this thing. So this is not the most complicated problem once you understand where to modify this thing. Okay, and the idea here is the problems that I'm going to give you are going to be modifiable from the structure of the template code. And the template code is something you have on the cheat sheet. It's always in front of you. It's something that I use every time I have to do an interrupt-driven program, and you should too. So to recount this thing, on line 28 and 29 here, I incremented the interrupt count, and then I cleared, I made sure it was in the 8-bit range. Okay, and then it's a normal program, interrupt-driven program. Here I get an interrupt. What I want to do is just shift that, find that MSB and 8-bit value, shift it to the LSB position, and output it, and that becomes my blinking LED. So one thing I did forget to say on this program is you have to assume some external device is generating interrupts. I didn't really go over that. I mean, you just have to imagine it and make sure. Part of the problem description was, I mean, this code right here, I could have very easily put that inside the interrupt service routine, but I didn't because the problem told me not to. And folks, that's it for this problem. The code is back in the PowerPoints.